हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वार्म वेलकम टू आस्क असलम। और हम अपने प्रोग्राम की जैसे हमेशा शुरुआत करते हैं, लेट्स डिस्कस सम एक्साइटिंग इंटरेस्टिंग न्यूज़ रिलेटेड टू योर करियर, एजुकेशन, हायर स्टडीज, स्टडी abroad, and also look at some of the important questions. As you know that we are now entering into the last phase for this particular year from the student going abroad point of view, and hence this is a very last moment time wherein people are really still looking for the admissions. They are looking for last moment, grabbing the seats into their respective courses. And yeah, so it's I think it's very important that the students stick around this program and get to know. I've got a lot of questions related to this particular scene wherein students are still seeking admissions in abroad, and I will go through those questions also. So let's look at some of the news. So the first news coming from NDTV. NDTV released a very interesting, a small research report on 24th of July, whereby they are showcasing the iconic personalities of India who have studied abroad and brought and contributed a lot to the Indian economy. Yes, friends, we are talking about the who's who of the Indian industries like Ratan Tata. So starting from Ratan Tata has himself studied from Harvard Business School, and he did his advanced management program from there. And we know that he was a legend, leading the Tata Group up front, and then under his leadership, the major, what do you call, the famous or controversial acquisition happened for Range Rovers and Land Rovers, that proved to be one of the best decisions by the Tata Group. So yes, we have got a very tall example of Indians building a huge empire and making a global presence through their studying abroad exposure. Next in the line, we have got another very creative, very dashing entrepreneur from India, Anand Mahindra. Anand Mahindra, sir, has earned both his BA and MBA degree from Harvard University, and of course, we know that he is the chairman of Mahindra Group, which is the net worth of is around $4 billion as on this year. So it's a huge group we are talking about. And again, the whole idea is to for you to understand that these are the iconic leaders who are creating jobs here in India, adding a lot of economical activities which are directly, indirectly benefiting to the country and to the nations at a large. Next is Rahul Bajaj. Mr. Rahul Bajaj graduated again from Harvard Business School with his an MBA, and he's been the chairman of the Bajaj Group from 1965 to 2005, and he has contributed a lot of exposure Bajaj got through his leadership. And then next one coming from the political background, Mr. P. Chidambaram, wherein he holds MBA from Harvard University again in the field of economics and law. And we know that he's one of the most prominent cabinet minister India has ever produced, and he was known for his contribution to making the Indian economy global. And hence he is served as finance minister. He was also heading the home ministry, and he's of course currently a Rajya Sabha member. So these are just few names. Of course, we have got the big list. The whole idea, what we are trying to say through this list is that the Harvard, specifically as one of the top universities of the world, has been successfully creating and nurturing the minds of the potential leaders. And these leaders, after graduating from Harvard, are coming back and contributing to our economy, our country in a big, big way. So, what we learn from here is that the Harvard is not necessarily a university just to obtain the degree. And sometimes I hear a lot of news on the YouTube channel. Sometimes people talk that education is no longer going to be valid, and skill is going to take over the education, and it is becoming redundant. Well, there's partial truth to it, but the majority of the time, people are exaggerating the cons of education or cons of traditional style of education in front of the modern era of education. What I believe is that education is still super important. The traditional way of getting the education through a set of universities, campuses is supremely important, because it's not just a degree or a skill which you will get. in order to get the career for yourself, but the values which you incorporate, the personality which you groom, the cross cultural and cross territorial learning which you develop is only and only possible when you are in the environment whereby it's outside the computer boxes, it is in the live atmosphere, and you breathe the freshness and then multicultural exposure, and that's where you gain a lot of learning. So, well, this is the first news. Let's move to the second news coming from UK. University of Glasgow is offering MBA scholarship for this 2025 intake. So, as I mentioned, that this is the last phase of the admission. Still, students who are looking for the admissions, look at the University of Glasgow, one of the top universities of the world and UK. And the scholarship award is up to 17 lakhs on the MBA tuition fee. The target candidates they have identified as the high achieving, self funded international applicants, and including Indians, of course, for the September intake. The award is full tuition fee waiver. That could be possible for you as a student if you qualify. And also, there are some scholarship which are available on a partial scholarship basis, covering up to 50% of your tuition fees, which still means a lot of money and a lot of money saved in this last moment. So, friends, sometimes we get this confusion that how come it's possible to have a scholarship like this up to 100%, up to 50%, offered by the university, which is one of the best in the world, wherein in India, the university which may not even qualified to be ranked among top 500 are asking for donation. Isn't it a contradictory? Isn't it that Indian universities are more tough to get in as compared to, say, University of Glasgow? Well, the answer is yes, because in India, we have got a lot of applicants applying for the limited number of seats. Take the example of IIM, wherein a University of Glasgow had large number of seats, and there would be the possibility that not many students are competing for those many seats. And hence, this kind of opportunities comes into play. Where in terms of quality, Glasgow, University of Glasgow is much higher ranked as compared to Indian IIMs also. And hence, since the proportion to the application to number of seats is lesser in abroad as compared to India, it's possible that you can very well get a decent university or best ranking university still, not just at the nominal fees, but also through the scholarship. And that's the answer. So the eligibility would be that you have to appear for the full-time MBA program. It's not for the part-time courses, and you need to meet all their conditions to get the unconditional offer letter. And there will be one interview for all the candidates who would like to go for the scholarship. And yeah, this is pretty much. And the deadline is just approaching. It's 24. Oh, it's already approached. It's close to the first week of August, extended one. So you please need to hurry up. It's not that much of time you have. Next news is coming from the visa appointments issues which Indian students are facing with the US Embassy. And there's been a long challenge, especially this has been reported in Indian Express that many students and parents have complained to Ministry of External Affairs regarding the challenges which they're facing for securing the appointment slot for US student visa. And we also, as a counselor consultants, are really under very much pressure because it's very difficult to get the appointments on time. Because of that, students are losing on to very important years of their life, are not able to join the university on time. So, yeah, this is something which we all are facing, and I believe that this news is also mentioned that Ministry of External Affairs have formally raised this students and parents concerns to US Embassy in Delhi and US Department of State to take the corrective measures. Now, in response to that, US authorities have said that they have opened up the appointments for the fresh appointments for the students. However, the appointment slots are still not plenty to accommodate all the students who are lining in a queue. So the US Department also had to say that we had to prioritize the appointment because of whatever the shortage, and I don't believe how come the embassy or the government department will have a shortage of the people to process the application. But yeah, apparently this is the news what they got to share, and they said that software-based prioritization system is being introduced, and there might be some glitch because of that. Well, we don't know, but that's what is the response came in from that side. So let's see. Let's hope that it gets resolved as soon as possible. Next, very interesting news is coming from again UK. This time, University of Bath. It's again one of the famous universities and top-ranked universities in the world. University of Bath has conferred the honorary doctorate degree in business administration to our another iconic tycoon, business tycoon, Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittalji, who is the chairman of Bharti Enterprise, the Airtel mobile phone which you use. Plus, of course, they have got a lot of other businesses. So we are very proud as an Indian that our iconic leader have been confirmed the honorary doctorate degree by one of the best universities in the world, University Bath, UK. That also tells you that if you as a leader perform better, so not necessarily that's a formal way of education, you get the degree alone, but there are lots of ways, in the honorary sense the university can confer the degree to you, seeing your contribution in a respected field. So his contribution has been judged through his global business strategies, his entrepreneurship, his philanthropy. So there are different ways the university judge entrepreneurs on a different scales. Apart from this, it's not, by the way, the first time. Okay, Mr. Mittal has already been confirmed the degrees, the honorary degrees in the previous 7 or 8 occasions. So it's not the first time he's getting this degree, but yes, it's a really proud moment for all Indians to notice this. So with this, we conclude the question answer session. The news session, and let's move on to the question answer session, which I have in front of me. Oh, my team has handed over me the printout, of the questions. So it's good to have this. The first question is coming: is it still possible to apply for September 2025 intake? Oh, as I said, there are few universities still available. I'll just quickly take the name: University of South Wales, UK; Abu Dhabi Universities from Abu Dhabi, UAE; East Asia Institute of Management, Singapore; Harriet Ward University, Dubai campus; University of Central Lancashire, Cyprus; De Montfort University from Dubai campus; from Malaysia, Asia Pacific University, and MDIS Malaysia. These are two universities, and University of Wollongong, Dubai. So you see, there's a lot of university from Dubai, some from UK, some from Singapore, and Cyprus has got the opportunity for you to offer the last moment admission still in September 2025. So those who are still seeking the admission, please do consult to the counselors or to us, and we'll be happy to help you with the admission. So next question comes: which countries or universities are still accepting applications till this date? Okay, I've already read this university name, some of this university name. There are plenty of other universities could also be available, in minority in terms of numbers, but yes, they are available. So we understand that for some reason you might be getting late, or you might be waiting for certain things to happen, may not be going in the way you were expected, and hence you may choose to apply this year immediately without wasting much of time. So yes, these are the universities which could be the options available for you. Next is: are there any universities offering fast track admission or conditional offers? So basically, in abroad, the universities, what we call is that some of them are super clear that if they have their India office, then the process would be a little faster. So it could be as fast as issuing the offer letter within 24 hours to 48 hours after receiving the full set of applications. That would be the fastest way to get the offer letters. Again, you can check with us which universities are still available for this kind of fast track admissions, and there are universities which would take at least 1 week. So in an international admission point of view, आई वुड सजेस्ट कि अगर आपको एक हफ्ते से दो एक दिन से लेके एक हफ्ते के अंदर अगर आपके पास ऑफर लेटर आता है, इट इज स्टिल कंसिडर एज द फास्ट ट्रैक मोड ऑफ ऑफर लेटर्स. बट आपको दो चीजें ध्यान रखनी है कि देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ ऑफर लेटर्स. One is a conditional offer letter, another one is an unconditional offer letter. So some universities issue, or most of the universities issues, by the way, conditional offer letter because they want to give you a sense of relief by immediately securing your admissions, and they may tell you that okay, you take you get this offer letter, but you have to meet these many conditions. The condition could be as simple as if you are not having IELTS, then you have to have IELTS with 6.5 band, for example, or you have to deposit after getting this letter minimum say £3,000 or dollars, to secure your seat. The another condition would be that submit your final year mark sheet, which you must have not yet submitted. So with this, they will give you the offer letter. And the moment you meet all these conditions, you will get unconditional offer letter. This unconditional offer letter will kind of further secure your admission. So conditional offer letter is like temporary admission. It's not even confirming because you have to meet the conditions. But unconditional offer letter means there is no condition. You're all ready to join the university. The only thing is remaining is that you need to fly down, and in order to fly down, you got to have your visa. Okay. Next question: can I apply with provisional or final semester results pending? Yes, there are many universities who will consider your conditional offer letter or unconditional offer letter to issue based on your provisional degree. Because in India, we usually appear for April, May month for the final year exams. The result may come by June, July, or in terms of engineering student, it may also go till the time of September, October in certain states and cities. So it is very understandable that some university would give you an advantage of submitting the provisional certificates for provisional documents or the latest semester mark sheet, and then can offer you the offer letter, conditional offer letter. Next question: uh, will applying late reduce my chances of getting a scholarship? Um, yes and no. Like I just read one news for University of Glasgow, they are still offering scholarship for September intake. But yes, these kind of opportunity would be lesser. The earlier you start, the wider options of you to apply for different types of scholarship. It is but obvious. Earlier ka definition, I would suggest at least start 1 year in advance. So if you have got 1 year time to apply for your admissions, and scholarships would be much easier. And in abroad क्या होता है कि you need to also understand that यहाँ पे इंडिया में scholarship is very rare to get. In fact, here we talk about the donation part and the management quota, donation fees वगैरह. अब abroad में क्या होता है, they are having a scholarship and it's on a first come first serve basis. It means that they will give you the scholarship if you are at the right time making an application. And हो सकता है कि your percentage of marks are equivalent to say around 80, you get scholarship, and a person who applies after you say with a 90% may not get scholarship because the scholarship fund which was created is already over for the students who already applied and who met the criteria. So that's how the scholarship works. So yes, you are right. Most of the time scholarship would be used up, but there could be some options still available for you to get the scholarship in the last moment. Next question: can I switch my course choice now if I've already applied? It could be possible that you already applied and you might be waiting for condition offer letter to come, and you now change the mind to change the specialization. You need to immediately write to the university admission department with your request, and maybe you need to give a valid reason why you're doing so, and university may consider your request. But just keep in mind that university is under tremendous pressure to process all this application, especially in this given point of time, and hence it would not be very easy for university to respond you back. They may take a little more time because then they will prioritize uh, taking the request or processing the applications of the students who have made up their mind and straightforwardly applied and yet to receive the offer letter. So first priority would be given to them, and they may come back to you later on in order to change the course. Again, they would need to again check whether this new course is in line with what you've studied and whether you qualify to get an admission into this new suggested course. Hence, they may take some time. Can I apply to multiple countries at the same time this late? Well, again, I mentioned some of the countries like Dubai, Malaysia, Cyprus, Singapore, UK are very much available. You can very well choose multiple universities and multiple countries option just to make sure that you are applying to the different universities to secure your admission and make a safe option so that you do not just rely on one or two options, and then later on you may be disappointed not getting the offer letter. So yes, you can apply to multiple universities, and multiple countries. In my opinion, always take that 3 to 5 universities application is good enough, although there is no limit, and 2 to 3 countries alternative options are good enough for you to be secured enough. Next question. What if I miss the deadline? Should I wait for January or go through pathway options? Well, good question. So you have got both the options available. If you miss this September intake deadline, in my opinion, you should go for a January intake, because again, there's many people have got this myth that since September they've been hearing is the main intake. It's not that January is a secondary intake, or it's not so a fresh intake as compared to the September. No, January is also a fresh intake. It's a new batch entering into that particular point of time, and it's all together similar experience what student will have as they would have joined the September intake. So there is no difference between these two phases when you start your student journey. Pathway program could be option, but it happens that pathway programs are more of a foundational program. It is actually meant for the students who are not qualifying themselves into the main program. Hence, they have been routed through the pathway program by the university, so that because of maybe their lesser marks in exams, in academic exams or IELTS, or they must have not done so well in the face-to-face interview, that could be a lot of different. Or there are some subjects university identified you are not included or not been covered in your previous academic experience. Then they may ask you to come through a foundation, so that the main course doesn't become too tough for you because you've been trained at a foundation level by the foreign university. So that's a whole idea of getting into the pathway program. So it doesn't make sense because you missed the intake, then you join pathway just to catch up for the next intake. No, rather than you would want to take up the new intake and join them. I'll take the last few questions. When should I book my flight, before or after my visa? Well, again, very tricky question. However, uh, you use this technique. So if you are getting, say, you applied for the visa and you know that the visa may take 4 to 5 or 6 weeks, what you do is that you check the airline and the pricing. If the airline pricing is very, very reasonable, which you know that is gonna be the very good bargain to book the ticket right now, and the cancellation or date change penalty is not heavy, then in that case, I will suggest that you book the ticket immediately, because you know that even if suppose visa arrives little later and the date of travel need to be adjusted, the penalty would be lesser. However, if you know the penalty is super heavy for the date change of the ticket, then you need to compare that penalty with a new airfare price which would be there at that time. You can ask the travel agent, they will give you the idea that in this period of time, if you book the ticket, this will cost you this much, say for example 50,000. However, if you book it after 1 month, it will cost you say 1 lakh. And if your penalty of date of change is 25,000, then it makes sense to book ticket now. Even if date change happen, you have to pay 25,000, still you will be in the 25,000 rupees profit. I hope that understand that example is clear to you. So in that way, you can take a call and book the flight ticket. And last question, can I still find affordable student accommodation this late? Yes, there are a lot of companies nowadays, a lot of startups have come in this particular domain, and thanks to their efforts, there are lots of accommodation which has been aggregated under one roof, and we'll be able to help you to find accommodation suiting your budget. Yes, the preference would be lesser because as you would be towards the end point of your booking your accommodation, you may not get as many options as it were 3 months earlier, but you would still get accommodation near to your budget, that's for sure. However, that could be an exception for certain countries like Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland, wherein there are challenges to get the accommodation within the budget if you do not reserve your accommodation well in time. So, barring these few countries, most of the countries you may find the accommodation at a decent rate and close to your budget if you take the help of the accommodation aggregators. And if you do not have a clue how to do that, we'll invite you to come and talk to our team, and they'll be able to help you in this regards. So with this, I would like to conclude the session. Thank you very much for watching the program, and I hope that this adds quite a few valuable insights to your understanding of studying abroad and taking a right decision to choose the right course, college, and country. I'll see you next time again on next Saturday. Until then, take care of yourself. Have a good day. Bye-bye.